Welcome back to Investing Talk podcast. Today we're going to take a close look at Denison Mines.
Denison Mines.
You shared a few different pieces about this company with us, and our goal today is to kind of pull out the key insights so you can get a better sense of what's happening with this company.
Okay.
We've got some technical analysis, a company overview, and then a stock analysis. So a lot to unpack. We're going to look at recent price movements, company fundamentals, and then some of the factors that might be influencing the stock.
Sounds good.
All right, so let's start with the recent price action.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what jumps out at you from the technical analysis?
Well, I think the recent price dropped, right? We're looking at a drop to $1.33 from $1.39.
Yeah.
That's a decrease of over 4%, 4.32% to be exact. And that signals some selling pressure for sure.
Yeah, that's interesting. But I'm looking at the average trading volume, and it seems to be holding pretty steady, like around 70.9 million shares. So it seems like while the price is down, it doesn't look like there's a mass exodus. I mean, there's still consistent interest in the stock.
That's right. I mean, consistent volume like that could mean a couple of things.
Yeah.
It could mean that there's buyers coming in at these lower price points, or it could mean that the selling isn't panic-driven. We'll have to look a little closer to figure that out.
Okay, so the technical analysis also mentions these moving averages, the 50-day and the 200-day, and the RSI, this relative strength index. Can you kind of walk us through why those are important, even though we don't have the specific numbers in front of us right now?
Sure. The 50-day and the 200-day moving averages are trend indicators. Generally speaking, if the shorter-term average, the 50-day, is above the longer-term average, the 200-day, it suggests an upward trend. And if it's the opposite, it suggests a downward trend.
Okay.
And the RSI, the relative strength index, is a momentum indicator.
Right.
If the RSI is below 30, it can indicate that a stock is oversold, meaning it might be poised for a bounce back. But, if the price keeps dropping and the RSI is high, then that could mean the downward momentum is continuing.
Yeah, so even without the exact numbers, it sounds like what we're looking for is context. We want to see how these things are interacting.
Exactly. And the recommendation to hold at this point, based on the technical analysis, makes sense. It's kind of wait and see right now until we get some more clarity.
All right, so let's shift gears a little bit and talk about the company overview.
Okay.
Denison Mines, they're in the uranium game. They're focused on exploration and development, and it looks like their primary focus is in Canada, specifically the Athabasca Basin.
Yeah, the Athabasca Basin is known for its uranium deposits.
Their flagship project is this Wheeler River project, where it looks like they have a 95% interest. And then they're also involved in some other ventures, like the McLean Lake joint venture. I want to dive into the recent performance numbers because it seems like there's a story there.
There is a story there.
So what do you see?
I see a lot of volatility, that's for sure. I mean, look at the stock price. It hit a low of $1.33 after being as high as $1.55 just a few weeks ago in late March.
Wow, yeah.
It's a pretty big swing. And I think that speaks to the uncertainties surrounding both the company and the uranium market in general.
Right. And it's not just a recent thing either. I mean, even looking back over the past year, the stock hasn't really performed that well, despite the fact that uranium prices have been going up.
Yeah, that's the interesting part. You would think with uranium prices rising, a company like Denison would benefit. But it seems like there are some company-specific factors holding it back.
Exactly. And the overview mentions market uncertainty as a big factor, and also some regulatory issues around licensing.
Yeah, those regulatory hurdles can definitely put a damper on things. And the market uncertainty, well, that's always going to be a factor in a commodity-based industry like uranium.
Right. Okay.
But,
let's dig into the financials then.
right.
Because the overview paints, I think, kind of a complicated picture. They're generating some revenue. It looks like about $695,000 according to the overview. But, and this is the big but, their net income is still negative.
Right, and that negative net income, the overview points to that as a red flag.
Yeah.
And I think rightfully so.
Yeah.
It means they're spending more than they're bringing in. And the overview also mentions significant pre-tax profit margin losses and a lot of liabilities.
Okay, so break those down for me a little bit. What do those really mean for someone who's looking at this company as a potential investment?
Well, the pre-tax profit margin losses, that basically means they're not efficiently converting their revenue into profits.
Okay.
They're losing money on every dollar of sales, essentially.
Yeah.
And the liabilities, those are future financial obligations that the company has. So it could be debt, it could be accounts payable, but it's money they owe. And a lot of liabilities can make it hard for a company to invest in growth or weather any kind of economic downturn.
All right, but it's not all doom and gloom, right? I mean, the overview does mention that they have a healthy current ratio. So what does that tell us?
Yeah, that's a good point. The current ratio is a measure of a company's ability to pay its short-term obligations. So a healthy current ratio means they have enough liquid assets, things like cash on hand, to cover their short-term debts.
So they can keep the lights on for now.
For now, yeah. And the overview does highlight their strategic partnerships and the growth potential of the uranium market as strengths.
Okay, so it sounds like market sentiment is a bit mixed on Denison.
Yeah.
Analysts seem to see the potential, especially with the whole clean energy push and rising demand for uranium, but then those financial concerns keep popping up.
Yeah, it's like this tug of war. On one side, you have the potential of uranium. It's a key component in nuclear power, which is considered a clean energy source.
Right.
But then on the other side, you have these financial questions. Can they get their costs under control? Can they manage their debt? Those are the things that are making investors hesitant.
Yeah, I was looking at some of the online discussions about Denison, and it seems like that's reflected there too. There's definitely some optimism about their role in the future of clean energy, but then there are also a lot of people expressing concern about their financial stability.
And that makes sense. People are trying to weigh the potential against the risk. And when it comes to Denison, there's both.
All right, so let's put them in context with their competition. Who else are they up against?
Well, in the uranium space, some of the big players are Cameco and Energy Fuels.
Okay.
And while Denison has a good position in the Athabasca Basin, their financial performance right now just doesn't compare to these larger companies.
So they're lagging behind a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the overview does suggest that their strategic partnerships and the expected growth in uranium demand could give them a boost in the future.
So there's a chance they could catch up.
There's always a chance.
All right, so looking ahead, what are the key things to watch for? What are the potential catalysts, but also what are the potential risks?
Well, on the positive side, the increasing demand for uranium, especially from the clean energy sector, is a huge potential catalyst for Denison.
Okay.
And the successful development of their key projects, like Wheeler River, that would be a major win.
Yeah.
But there are risks too, of course.
Yeah.
Regulatory hurdles are always a concern in the mining industry. Uranium prices, they can be very volatile.
Right.
And then, of course, there are the financial challenges that we've been talking about. Those aren't going to go away overnight.
Okay, so it sounds like the overall takeaway from the company overview is that Denison Mines is a bit of a gamble right now. There's potential, but there's also a lot of risk.
Yeah, it's speculative. That's the word that comes to mind.
And that's reflected in the recommendation, which is basically hold or maybe consider a cautious buy. But if you're going to buy, be prepared for the long haul and keep a close eye on those financial reports and what's happening in the uranium market.
I think that's a good summary.
Okay, so let's look at the stock analysis now and see if it adds anything else to the picture. So it mentions the recent stock price, around $1.30, which aligns with that price drop we talked about earlier. It's down about 1.88%. And then it goes on to list some of the factors that are influencing the stock.
Right, and the first thing it points to is the volatility of the uranium market, which makes sense. Uranium prices are affected by global events, by supply chain disruptions, all sorts of things.
So that volatility is going to trickle down to Denison.
Absolutely. And then the analysis also highlights the importance of their key projects, how those are progressing, whether there are any setbacks. Those are going to be closely watched by investors.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, and it also mentions Denison's decision to hold physical uranium. What are your thoughts on that?
That's an interesting strategy. The idea is that by holding physical uranium, they'll have more financial flexibility down the line when they need to fund their projects. But it also means they have a lot of capital tied up in a commodity that can fluctuate in price. So it's a calculated risk.
Yeah.
And you know how investors feel about risk?
Exactly. Okay, and last thing the stock analysis mentions is this overall market sentiment towards uranium stocks.
Right, which is influenced by so many factors, the overall economy, energy policy, environmental concerns. I mean, it's a pretty complex equation.
Yeah, and it can change quickly. All right, so let's pull this all together. Looking at all your sources, it seems like Denison Mines has the potential to be a major player in the uranium market, especially with those projects they have in the Athabasca Basin, like Wheeler River.
Right. I mean, that region is a prolific source of uranium.
But then there's that recent price dip that we saw in the technical analysis, and it seems like that's tied to both the volatility of the uranium market and these broader concerns about Denison's financial performance.
Yeah, the financial health of the company. And that's really the big question mark here. You've got the negative net income, the liabilities. Those are things that investors can't ignore.
But there's still that potential upside, right? The fact that uranium is a key component in clean energy, and the demand for uranium is expected to increase. So it's this push and pull between the potential and the risk. And I think that's why the recommendation is to hold or maybe consider a cautious buy.
Right. It's not a clear-cut buy or sell. There's a lot to consider.
What's really interesting to me is that the technical analysis suggests the stock might be oversold right now, but then you've got those fundamental concerns about their financials. So it really begs the question, how much weight do you give to those short-term technical signals versus the long-term picture?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think that's something for investors to think about as they do their own research on Denison Mines.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing all of this with us. We hope this has given everyone listening a clearer picture of Denison Mines.
I hope so.
And if you enjoyed this deep dive, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. We really appreciate your support.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
And we'll see you next time.
See you.